Well, gee, look at this. Rumor that Sony wants Final Fantasy games to be on PlayStation. Screw PlayStation, it sucks. It hasn't done anything good since PS2. It's basically a forced interactive movie simulator of a console. It's not good anymore. It sucked since PS4. That's when I noticed how bad PlayStation is. I will give PS3 a break because that one tried at least. But yeah, when the CAO of PlayStation, Kent Kutaragi, I think the name of the guy was, it has sucked since then. It has been terrible. If you buy this and you're an idiot, buy a Xbox or Nintendo. Those are good consoles. Basically, all you're supporting is basically interactive movies with a forced narrative to it. So yeah, and I don't think Final Fantasy games are good either way. I mean, even in the beginning, they weren't that good. Because Phantasy Star 1 was way better. And it came out, if I'm searching it up here, Final Fantasy 1 and Fantasy Star 2. Let's see here. So this one basically was in 1998 on the Famicom. Yeah, December 18. And Phantasy Star 1. Oh, sorry, that was the second one. There it is. Phantasy Star 1. December 20. So it basically was 2 days after the first Final Fantasy game. Yeah, it's way better the first Phantasy Star 1. Way cooler graphics. I guess I can't zoom in on this, but it's a great game. It's definitely better than Final Fantasy games because it looks cool. And this wasn't even the first Final Fantasy. It wasn't even the first to have character models like this. There was another game called Dragon Stomper, which I think I'm gonna look up here. Let's see here. Dragon Stomper. I'm just gonna look it up here. Dragon Stomper. There you go. Let's see here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play it a little bit, just to show what I mean. Yeah, so we see here, you are playing this white blimp here, and it can occasionally get encounter with the random monsters, just like a turn-based RPG in modern time. So we see it moves. You see it moves on the screen here. That's you. Oh, there. Now you get a choice between picking fights or something. And this game came out in 1982. So it's not like Final Fantasy was the first to have it, but it's mostly praised for being a very long run series. That's about it. It's not that Final Fantasy was that good to begin with. It's kind of because the design was lazy too in Final Fantasy games because you basically looked like midgets fighting a normal, realistic-looking drawn humans. It's not like Final Fantasy was all that good to begin with. I only like Final Fantasy 2 because I do think the gameplay is kind of cool in that one, but it's not like it's groundbreaking games. It's basically very mediocre, if you ask me. I just think. I guess I don't get why there's a huge fan base for the Final Fantasy series or in general, because there's so much better RPGs than Final Fantasy. Dragon Stomper I haven't played, but it looks very cool. So that's a game I definitely want to play. And I've played Phantasy Star 2 at least on PC, and yeah, that will rules. So if you want to get good RPG from old, get Phantasy Star. Or Ultima games is also cool. I'll play that one. Ultima... That one is older though, but it's really good. Let's see here, Ultima 1. The first Age of Darkness. So we can see, you basically, this is more like an action RPG in a sense, because you can kind of stumble upon, enemies out of out of in the open world, and you kind of press a command or type a button to attack. But it's a very cool game. It's very primitive, but it's very awesome. It's very impressive for such an old game. I'm gonna see how old this game is though. 1981, yes, June 1981 was when that came out. It's very well made for an old game. This is very good. So yeah, I just so even if PlayStation became the exclusive thing for Final Fantasy, I wouldn't care. I just wouldn't. It's not that good. It's basically if it was me, I would you know what? You know what I would suggest? There's also this other sort of RPG game called Quest for Glory 5, which was a demo I played as a kid, and I never found it till way later. But it's very cool with the way you fight in that one. Some may prefer the click and point one, but I think this one is actually not that bad. It's a 3D, and you kind of run around, and you can attack enemies and such. It's a very cool game. So yeah, the point is there's lots of good games. You don't have to rely on Final Fantasy to make your life a perfect place. It's just a brand. It's a very mediocre brand that's popular. That's all. But yeah, feel free to agree or disagree. Thank you for listening, and bye.